We have come so far, but do not fear, I left the best for last. So, we've talked a lot about the things that you see on the surface of a brand. So, you see the stories that brands tell, you see the colors that they choose, the design styles, the images, things like that. But there's also really important things that happen on the inside of a business, like the guts of a business, the strategic decisions that you can make to exemplify and to live your archetype out loud. And I'm going to give you some specific ideas of that in this video. I already planted the seed right away in the beginning. So when you were figuring out what your brand values, personality, and beliefs were, I asked you to start to think about the ways that that would show up in your business. So I'm going to give you a lot of ideas in this video about the specific examples that you could use for that, but you also might come up with your own. So if you think about, you use the worksheet, it's called Bringing It All Together in the guidebook. You can do this process yourself, but I'm going to get the wheels turning for you with lots of advice and ideas to use as a starting place. So working with clients, don't be afraid to offend them. Speak your mind, swear if that's natural for you. Rants are actually good for your brand. Also, be as different as possible from what is expected in your industry and make sure that you highlight this for your clients. Be clear about how you are different. They might not have worked with somebody in your same industry. So if you're doing something different than the status quo, make sure that they know that. So it becomes part of like a badge of honor for your client that they were the smart one to choose the person who does things differently. Regularly break things in your business. This might sound kind of odd, but discontinuing products, changing the way you look is all very on brand for you. So do what you think is right, but as soon as it's not working for you or it's not serving you anymore, lead by example and get rid of it to make space for something new. Also, you can plan attention or PR stunts. So you can think like Richard Branson, channel your inner Branson, and think about things that he's done, like skydiving, Evel Knievel jumps. Obviously, you can do this on a smaller scale, like organizing what were those things that were popular a few years ago, like the dance mobs that people would that would all come together at once and do a PR stunt that way. So think of things that would be weird or unusual or attention grabbing or taboo or honestly, just attention grabbing. So figure out things that would catch the attention of the press that you could use to promote your own business on the back end. People expect this from you. They expect you to be bold and to be courageous. So figure out ways that you can live that out loud in your business while you're working with clients. So here's what they want from you. They want to go a different way. So they've probably tried the status quo and it didn't work for them either. So they're looking to you for a better way. They also want you to point out problems with the status quo so they can recognize those problems for themselves. Obviously, you know a whole lot more about your industry or your product than they do. So by showing them the issues that they need to look out for, they appreciate you for that. They want to also live vicariously through your choices. So you are infinitely more bold, more courageous, and willing to say more things out loud than they are. So even if they aren't quite as rebellious as you are, they appreciate that about you and they want to live vicariously through the things that you do. If there's a way that you can give them a thrill-seeking experience, like if you're hosting a business retreat, you should definitely throw axes at a wall. I think I saw an example of that from exclusive mastermind that you paid to be a part of. Things like, jumping off of a cliff, doing bungee jumping, skydiving, things like that can fit your brand really, really well. This might also play out in a smaller way. So maybe your clients have never been on live video. If you encourage them to put their fear aside and show up in live video, that can be a very anxiety and adrenaline pumping experience. So again, it's very on brand for you. Align with the underdogs in your industry or in your culture or in your family. Figure out who is not getting the attention that they deserve and root for them. Definitely propose a different route or method than the usual way of doing things. Figure out a way to get better results and different results from the other options in your market. Also, just give them permission to revolt, to be unique, to quit if they need to divorce those thoughts or systems or beliefs that are no longer serving them. Now, ways that this might show up in your actual strategic decisions that you make in your business are like this. And again, these are examples. These may not all resonate with you, and that's totally fine. You're going to do the work to translate it to your own business here in a moment as we finish up the examples. So don't be afraid to look different. Things like colored hair, piercings, tattoos, they all enhance the idea that you're anti-establishment, that you're different than all the rest of the people, and that you're going to give them a different brand experience. You can plan shocking stunts to draw attention to your brand. Highlight ways that you do go against the status quo. Don't just assume that everybody knows what the status quo is. Discuss things that others consider to be taboo. So even if you're writing a blog post about, I don't know, how to attend a networking event, be raw and honest and use examples that kind of make the hair on the backs of people's necks stand up, because that's very on brand. You can poke fun at people who are uptight or reserved, perhaps not specific people, but the types of people that are uptight and reserved. Be willing to move, travel, try new things. And lastly, gather testimonials that demonstrate how working with you was different than other people. So these are all examples of ways that you can translate your beliefs and values that you figured out in the first section, and then translate them into actual decisions that you're making in your business, because your brand shouldn't just sit on the surface. It should be informed by the very foundation of your being and of your brand, and it should also affect every single decision that you make within your business. So I'm so excited to see what you do with this. There's a form at the end where you can share, and please do share. But being the maverick, maybe I should tell you, don't share. Don't press the button. Your ahas, your epiphanies. And then lastly, I'm really looking forward to hearing how you are going to incorporate some of this into your business. What are the first steps that you're going to take? What are you going to change in your business now that you understand your maverick archetype so deeply? I appreciate you. We need you as a brand archetype. We need you to remind us to think differently, to not settle for what's in front of us if it's not the best option for us. So keep sharing your voice. Don't be afraid of the criticism, because we really, really do appreciate who you are, what you stand for, and how you look at the world.